House is Burning by Isaiah Rashad. 16 songs, 48 minutes long. This is Isaiah Rashad's third album, long awaited album. He's been talking about this since at least 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, teased it first and then 2 years, didn't really talk about it. Then 2 years later, gave a few details, gave a name, and then still didn't talk about it. And then
finally dropped it.
Yeah, we started seeing singles earlier this year.
Yeah.
One other thing I'll also say before we kind of jump into this is that when kind of being interviewed in some of the, lead up to the drop of the album, he was saying that he wanted people to come away from this going, Isaiah Rashad has range, that he can do like a number of different things, and like execute them, more or less. He said it's whatever, like people can judge it on whatever it is, but he wants to be known for executing a number of things. Yeah, I'll give him that.
As the wonderful T-Pain said, do something fucking different. He did something fucking different. He really had range within that album. It starts off with Dark Side. I like how it's spelled. Yeah. I don't know, it always just makes me laugh seeing it. But it's like this neat, like
it's really a classic rap intro to me.
A really good like rap slash blending rap and neo pop and stuff into an opening track and everything, and it's a fun little opening for the album. You have From the Garden featuring Lil Uzi Vert. How many Lil Uzis are there? We never know. The world may never know. But
it's
I actually like it.
I didn't actually like From the Garden that much with Lil Uzi Vert. Like, it's fine. I'm glad that Uzi Vert doesn't doing like the auto-tune thing too much, so he sounds a lot better there.
That's a big thing on it.
Yeah. It does the thing that this album does the thing a lot of, I guess, trap albums do, where like they start with like the weirdest, ratchetest, like banger-ish sounding song first, I guess. And that's kind of like the beginning for songs as well. But after that, I really just think, other than that sort of weirder start, where I don't think it's either Isaiah Rashad or Lil Uzi Vert at their strongest, you go into songs like Rip Young, which are pretty good at like keeping this like slower R&B-ish neo-pop kind of thing that you're talking about, while still like keeping it to be like a really good like beat in the background. It's these like really low 808 kind of things going on. Again, it's like a trap and B kind of project. It's really good. Yep. And then it goes to Lay With Ya, which is the sort of deconstructed, almost off kilter kind of thing. We review this as a new single. It's very, really good.
I really like this single a lot, and I like with Duke Deuce. I do like his input on the track and everything. His feature, very good.
Yeah,
really enjoy it. It's finally good. Again, with a lot of the trap that we've heard this year, there's a lot of good trap and a lot of bad trap. And this is finally another one where we get in. I'll go, okay, good. I could really dissect this. I could jump in this and really enjoy it.
Because there's stuff here. Like there's
lots. Exactly. There's a lot of different sounds. There's a lot of different things. And as Isaiah Rashad said, he wanted to have a range within it. And there's definitely range in this album, which is great for a trap record. We don't get that often. There's very few trap artists that can give you a range, give you not just like a range vocally, but within production, within stylistic choices, within lyricism and everything else. And you get that throughout the record.
Finally. Yeah, like last week we reviewed Young Blue, where there are literally two songs that sounded
exactly the goddamn same. They're verbatim the same song.
And you shouldn't have to like expect that or ask that in a new record to like, hey, can you make some like two songs? You're like, hey, it's either a 2-part song where like there's a reason, a purpose to it, and together it's 10 minutes long or whatever, or make one song, right? And just like throw the beat somewhere else. Like literally just like make multiple songs. It shouldn't have to be like a request of this, but a lot of artists aren't doing it. And so when artists do that thing that apparently for us is bare minimum, but apparently it's just like the cream of the crop now, we ought to call it out. It's very, very good. You got a really nice mix with Claymore featuring Smino. But really, like the standout track where you start to see, because, Isaiah Rashad, he has this sort of like underground hip hop, like if you really like rap, like he's got Clouds, like a really talented lyricist and things like that. But this does feel like because he's doing a lot of genre blending, where Isaiah Rashad at this point in the album feels like he's sort of pared back. But Headshots for the Locals is a lot different, where you get Isaiah Rashad guns blazing at where he really is.
Oh my God, I love this track. It actually, like the flow of it reminds me a little bit of Kendrick within there, like a laid back Kendrick and everything, kind of that flow, and which I absolutely love. Really, really enjoy this track. It's funny, every song I like and whatnot, and I want to put on the 2021 AF playlist, you put it before me.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, got to be quick on that.
right?
Yeah. It's a really, really good track. It's smooth and it has those like Kendrick laid back vibes because it's TDE, it's LA, same group of people making the sauce in here. So
Mhm.
it's not too surprising that there's some similarities there, but it's definitely really good. Um, yeah, you go through the rest of it, and there's a decent amount of pack of features. Definitely some of the TDE collective hits, and some other like
Yeah,
great folks out
naturally.
there who are makes sense in here. Like we mentioned, there's Smino, Duke Deuce, Lil Uzi Vert earlier. You've got Amendi, J Rock, J Worthy, SZA and Black do another track later on here, and
That
all of the features do a really good job of not overpowering Isaiah Rashad, complimenting all the
nope.
artists in there. If anything, I'd say I'm just a J Rock fan, so I just want a little more J Rock and True Story. But he does his verse, comes out, it works
Pretty
pretty
good.
nicely. It's all really
I
good.
do.
Jay
I
Worthy's
agree
vocal.
with you. I'm not even the biggest fan of J Rock, but I wanted a little bit more of him on True Story because I do genuinely like his flow, especially as a feature. And when he's or if artists go onto his tracks to feature with it, I love those ones. I really like it when he gets to go with other artists. It's just like Young Thug to me.
Yeah. And then through the rest of the album, like it sort of does a trap and B thing. In the beginning, it's definitely more trappy, and then once you pass the J Rock portion, you get into the truly, really trap and B nature of it. It's
Yes.
paced really well as an album. Don't ask me to compare it exactly to the pacing of Billie Eilish's second record. I just don't think it's
Totally
apples and
different
oranges comparison.
Totally different
I think
records.
they're both paced well. I'll say that. I don't think I could
Yes.
say one's paced better than the other, but they both work for what they're trying to do. So, like,
Exactly.
to me, that's good enough in my book.
The big thing is the thing I could compare the two of them is that they don't feel long, even though they are longer records for this year. Because Billy's is almost an hour long, and Isaiah Rashad's is 48 minutes.
Yeah.
And for this year, where we'll get to Bleachers in a little bit, which is only half an hour, a lot of these albums are becoming shorter and shorter. But these ones that are a little bit longer for this year, they don't drag on. You're left satisfied and but not overindulged into the records. Either one, which is very good as well.
Yeah.
Just want to say that. Going down, you got a score with SZA and Sklag.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Really quick before that,
Or
I just
you
want
wanna
to say that I liked Chad featuring YGTUT
Oh, that's right.
randomly.
Oops.
I just thought it was a really
That was a
good.
good track. I forgot to skip over.
I was just gonna
skip over that one.
I'll just say really quickly because I do want to get into that specific song score as well. But I just want to say that does a really good song of mixing everything of what Isaiah Rashad is trying to do here. It's got like a really good rap bars, really good flow, really good like rhythmic flow to that, and a really like sense to that. But at the same time, you have the trap and beat kind of like head nodder kind of thing. Like sometimes in a project like this, you want to distill the sound to one proper thing, and Chad really does it right. I don't really know if there's like Chad's lyric in it. I remember a different refrain for most of it, but it's a banger. I really like that.
It's a good track. Yes.
Yes.
That's how you need to make trap in 2021.
For sure.
And then going on to score, just oh my god, I love this track. This is what I love with trap and B, that really blending the genres of neo pop, trap, and all the other things within modern music and everything that you get modern
jazz,
pop,
soul.
Yeah, just all of that combination into this. It's just really, really indulge myself in this track. Listen to it a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not even the biggest fan of SZA or Black, but they're both knocked it out.
Yeah. Very good job done in this. It lets the album kind of, I mean, that's definitely like the kind of last crescendo of the album.
Yes.
THIB and HB2U really kind of slow it down a little bit.
Pretty chill.
Yeah. Slow it down a little bit, but yeah, they keep the album pretty chill. And yeah, overall, it's a pretty good project. I think some people were expecting like a little bit more, like some more like bangers from it or something like that, but I think it was perfectly like
I think it's great within what he wanted to do. He wanted to show you range. He wanted to show you all the different ideas he's had. I mean, he's been touting this album for years, so you have a lot of time to prepare, a lot of different sounds and ideas that you have over years, and like trends in music and all of that. But you still produce and make an album that is cohesive, it's modern, and it does everything that you want it to do, and to showcase all the things that you want to do as well.
Well said. Arbitrary Scale, RB and the Chief. Doing arbitrary scales randomly on every episode because it barely matters. And what we said in the review is what we said in the review. I would give this my season 1 or season 2, right?
This
Like
is
it was
season two. This is season two, baby.
all right, season 2.
Yeah, that's when it's like that's when it started to get a little spicy. You know, it had different characters in it. That's what I remember back in the day, like waiting for episode releases because you were like waiting for the next shit.
Yeah, I remember
This
you
is
in
like
middle
10
school going
yeah.
like next arc
Like
in the
bro, this
chief
is like
dropping, baby.
14 years ago or something like that, which is absurd.
Yeah, definitely. You're taking the risks. A lot of the risks are working out. When it doesn't working out,
Mhm.
it's like totally fine. I wouldn't even say there's like a risk in here that didn't work out. Like I just say there's some moments that are like more glitzy and more popping than others, but like it's still like inoffensive and still works really well. There's nothing
Yeah.
really I damn near hated, and even like from the beginning with From the Garden, don't hate it's just like not my favorite thing.